So Amanda and I have been making Domaine in the Bee now for, since 2007, and every year we have problems we have to overcome, and this year has been a particularly difficult year. 2014 in the Roussillon has been very, very challenging. A lot of rain through the summer, and the other really interesting and unusual factor is that we normally have a very steady wind that blows from the mountains that blows all through the summer in bursts of 3 or 4 days, and then it calms down for a bit and then it blows again. This summer we've practically had no tramontane. And the reason that's a problem is because anytime you have a little bit of rain, the tramontane dries it off, and it means that any botrytis or any oidium or mildew that you've got hanging around will often clear up just with the wind without too much needing to treat. This year we've had to treat it a lot. There was a very big problem with mildew in the middle of August. A lot of growers were away. A lot of growers were on holiday and therefore didn't spray immediately. You have to be very careful with the spraying. Very fortunately, Edmundo, who looks after our vines on a day-to-day basis, was very active and sprayed all through the night and worked on the weekends. So our vines are pretty much saved from mildew, but you'll notice vines around in the valley where the leaves are already brown and the vines can't photosynthesize when the leaf is brown, and so that's caused a lot of problems for our neighbours. We've had particular problems with acid, which is various ways in which the grape can become damaged and then starts to develop acetic, vinegary taste. Sometimes that's a bug called Odomis. Odomis is ver de grappe, which is a grape berry moth, and it buries the larvae drill little holes in the skin of the grape, and that allows the larva to enter and to eat, but it also allows the acetobacter to enter. So the grape tastes very vinegary, and we've been working very hard to select against that. In fact, with the Larrock vineyard we had to cut out about 2/3 of our crop because we were not happy that we didn't want any vinegar flavour into our wine. So it's a little bit emotional this year because we had what we thought was a good sized crop. We had rain in the summer, which meant the berries swelled nicely, but actually they swelled a bit too much. So we've had to be we've waited in order for the grapes to ripen further and to dry out a little bit and to become a little bit less swollen. And we're having to pick earlier than we'd like to avoid the problems of acid rot. So in all, it's a bit of a compromise year. I think by selecting really, really hard, if you work hard in your vineyard and cut only the grapes you want, you can end up with a very good quality wine, and that's what I hope we have this year. The only problem is, again, the volume. For once we thought we might have a reasonably sized crop, and actually I think it's going to be way smaller than average, and possibly as small as our smallest vintage ever in 2012. So that's a very brief report of how we've gone. We're halfway through the second block and we've got one more block to pick. At least this block is looking quite healthy. I think the last block is going to be another very hard selecting issue, but that's a summary of how things have gone in 2014.